Hello guys. Hello guys. Welcome. I'm just kidding. But anyways, if you saw my last video, welcome to the channel by the way. If you saw my last video, I went ahead and I got this 27-inch monitor from HP through Amazon Deal Days, whatever it's called. And most of you will agree that this just doesn't look good. So if you go on Amazon, you'll notice that there are 1,000,001 monitor table stands. Bam, bam. But this one is not sponsored, so here's a video of me just talking about some random brand. I got a deal on this one, as always, because I don't buy anything unless there's a deal. So this is normally like $27, and my little honey tracker for Amazon prices says that that's the lowest that it went down to, which was 17 and some change, something around that. So I figured, why not? Hard to beat, right? Especially with the new monitor, I just don't like the way that the setup is going right now. So to clean everything up, this is going on installed. So let's do it. All right, miraculously opened up. And I've never installed one of these, but I imagine it'll be pretty user-friendly. Might be a little bit naive of me, maybe is the word, I don't know. A little positive. Okay, looks like this is a clamp for clamping down. I feel like this should have a little bit of like a padding or a cushion so it doesn't really like squish your desk. But that might be asking for too much at this price point. I guess I'll learn. Then I got this guy, which is based on this little picture. It looks like it's, okay, this part does have some cushioning, some padding. You can see that right there. It's got a little bit of a foam pad. I was worried for a second, but it's what happens when you jump the gun. You gotta have faith in life sometimes. You gotta be positive. Then we got some hardware. Looks like some cable management stuff. Pretty nice, I would say. Some screws, a bunch of different ones. I'm assuming for different monitors. Since this is kind of a universal one. Universal. There you go. And then a little, it looks like a back mount piece. And yes, I just threw the trash on the ground. This room is in progress, if you couldn't tell. And then here's the arm itself. Wow. Yeah, see, I just ripped this, but I could have just used my brain. It's a lot less painful when you think sometimes. Alright. These are pretty sturdy. They look like they're made pretty well. I'm not seeing any manufacturing defects or cheapness shortcuts. Got one bracket right here. Another bracket right there. And then it looks like this is the stand itself. Either that or it's a tool for bludgeoning. Basically, I'm trying to say it's for hitting people over the head. Bam, bam. And then we have instructions. Sorry guys, this is chaotic, but this is how I do life. Alright, let me go ahead and clean this off. Alright, so it says the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this guy, and we're going to grab our pole, and this guy connects to this guy, and you match the holes up, like, so, well, kind of like this. Okay. Alright, well, somewhat sort of like this. Oh. And then you use your tool, your Mouska tool, and you tighten this up in here. Now that I've got this attached, you can see it's nice and sturdy. I'm going to grab this guy, and then this is going to sit right here. So this is what's going to clamp onto your desk. Oh yeah, just like that. Since my desk is pretty thin, this is where I'm going to line it up. It has an option to go that wide as well. So, boop, boop. And the next step is going to be to secure this to the desk. Just righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, secure this on. So I'm going to stick this as center as I can right there. And just like that, we've got a pole. The next thing I got to do is get this arm on with this little connector thing. I'll figure out how that goes. Alright, so I'm going to drop this on. And this guy just hangs out on this pole here, maybe. Okay. Good. Now, alright, so now I got this guy. And he just sits over here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Just like that, you got an arm holder. Well, that's actually pretty close up. And then we're just gonna tighten it just a little bit because it's got a little thing on the back to lock it in place. The tools they give you with this are pretty solid, I would say. I mean, they're just Allen keys. So let's get this in a decent spot where it's not going to keep falling down. And we'll adjust all this later once the monitors are on. So this is the fun part, getting this little bracket on the back of this monitor. And luckily this one does have some mounting holes already. I'm going to practice on the bad one first, or I'm going to practice on the cheaper one first. So let me remove these legs and then we'll test fit these screws. Alright, so I went ahead, I laid this monitor down and it's got a couple different screws and grommets. If you guys have ever mounted a TV, then you know exactly what it is. So if you needed to use the taller screws, but you could use these grommets to offset the height difference, all of that, but you just got to find the right ones that work. You got some washers, and yeah, we'll just try to figure out which ones fit this perfectly, which shouldn't be too hard. But since I'm going to try this 1080 monitor vertically, I went ahead and I mounted this guy that way. I'm just going to show you guys on this arm what it looks like. But this guy just slides right in. It sits on top of that little guy. And then it droops, but it's got to be set. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is right here where you've got the monitor sitting in this, you're going to take these little tiny little screw guys and you just clip these on, and then you're able to tighten this so you can lock this monitor in place. Oops, I did that the wrong way. But you can screw that down and now that's locked in, and do the same thing on the other side. And then you'll take your Allen key, and right here is where you would lock this monitor in place. Alright, so I've got the monitors looking pretty good. I gotta figure out how I want to really lay those out. But the cool thing is these little tools, they were nice enough to, if you rotate this guy around, you can keep your little Allen keys locked in place in this little guy. So you got a little holster for it. Look at that, isn't that nice? Pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, for under 20 bucks, 17 whatever and change, this looks like a pretty solid setup. It's nice and sturdy. Got to clamp everything down, but pretty easy install. Alright, and there you have it. That's what this looks like. I've got everything pretty much how I want it. I'm going to fix these resolutions and rotate this and get this all set up to look pretty good. But it's so much cleaner, so much nicer, so much better. I like this mount a lot already, and plus the amount of flexibility that this has, you know, being able to scoot this in a little bit closer. Granted, I got my cords tied in pretty good. Trying to work on that cable management, if you feel me. And yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid. This monitor is pretty nice. Let me get a little bit more tilt on that, but yeah, pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, this is not a professional unboxing video. This is just LJ doing it LJ's way. So if you enjoy, like, all that good stuff, then stay around for more. Subscribe. Help me get to wherever it is I think I'm going. But I just figured I'd share these with you guys. And yeah. Peace.